Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media Fae. Today, I'm alone. Today, I'll be discussing Batman Cape Crusader Season 1. That was not how I was ending it to go, but whatever. I just wrong with it. The second sort of independent animated series from DC this year. That I can. No, wait, Kite Man was one of them, but I don't want to review Kite Man. I don't want to watch Kite Man. But yeah, this is the second one I'm reviewing this year because what I'm probably gonna do with DC is that there are some things I will watch. Of course, we will obviously be covering everything related to the live action movies, but there are certain products within DC that are not like Marvel, where it's just like, oh, it's just this other thing. No, like DC is a completely different beast. They're doing their own stuff. So instead of doing everything from DC Studios, like we're doing with Marvel, because Marvel's a bit easier to track down. Um, I'm just gonna do what's with DC. I'm just gonna do what's related to the like live action movies, and that's really it. And anything else I want to review, if it's interesting to me, I'll review it. Like for example, Suicide Squad Isekai, which I reviewed quite a long time. A few months ago, I reviewed Suicide Squad Isekai. Actually, no, wait, it wasn't a few months ago. It was like, when was that? That was not that long ago, I don't think. Uh, was that quite a bit ago? I don't remember. November 8th. So last month, almost a month ago, I reviewed Suicide Squad Isekai. So yeah, over a month after review. Actually, it was fucking a few episodes ago. Yeah, I know. We're releasing a bunch of episodes today. I actually recorded last episode quite a bit ago, a few days ago. So yeah. So I'm not very good with keeping up with recording episodes. But anyways, um, yeah, we reviewed Suicide Squad Isekai quite a bit ago. And I just want to say we're gonna catch up with November with the rest of November. I promise you guys that is going to happen. I'm already planned after this. There are only a few episodes I need to record. Only 3 more that are from November. Just me doing it solo. Then it's just I have to watch a bunch of shit. And for December as well, I have to watch a bunch of shit. So yeah. It's not looking fun for me, but whatever. I'll get it done eventually. But yeah. What was I even saying? Oh yeah, I will only review stuff that actually interests me from DC. If it doesn't like fit into that, but I'll just wait until it's done, because I don't care that much to like make them media. What it was gonna be a media consumers topic. That's just like a normal big topic we're gonna talk about. So yeah. Anyways, Suicide Squad. It's fucking Batman King Crusader is a series made produced by Matt Reeves, which is famous for helming the epic Batman crime saga. Oh no, the Batman epic crime saga, which is the universe of the Batman. And I only call it the epic the epic Batman. I think it's the Batman epic crime saga because it's such a funny fucking name for that series. It's so unserious. I don't know how they came up with that. I'm genuinely shocked that they gave us this. They gave us this name. They gave us that name for that universe. But yeah. Anyways, Batman Caped Crusader, um, is sort of it's kind of in the same vein as the Batman. It takes a little bit more from other stuff. So it's based on the old Batman comics. At least that's what I'm getting. it's at least it has a lot of designs from the old the like the 40s Batman comics, and it's set in the era of the 40s, around there. And Batman looks like 1940s Batman. He doesn't have the purple gloves or anything, or like the floppy ears, but he does have like he does look like the 1940s Batman. And a bunch of the characters are very 1940s esque. It does take a lot from the Batman the animated series, which was also helmed by the other producer of this show, Bruce Timm. So it's a lot of parallels of that. And then the last person who developed this series was J.J. Abrams, which explains a little bit of which explains a lot of the things that go on with this series. So yeah, there's that. And I just have to kind of say, just before we really get into this could have been wait, disclaimer for that. It's been quite a while since I watched this, so I don't remember a lot from Batman Cape Crusader. I remember being excited for it. God fucking damn it. Alright, sorry about that. But anyways, it's been quite a while since I watched this show, so I might remember a few things. I watched it back in September. Like it took me a while to get to the show, and it's a while to fucking record it. 3 months to record this episode. But yeah, but now that that's aside, I want to say that this series could have lived up to the hype that it got before release, and especially I remember being excited for the show. It was the show has had quite the history. It was originally going to be for HBO Max, or I think it was Max at that point, and then it was like with Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Discovery, whatever the fuck their name is right now. They've changed names so much, but they decided to cut a lot of their animated catalog from their like production list or anything they were producing or any of that, and they just it was taken off. It was not moving forward with HBO Max, and they were gonna shop it around other networks, and they did, and they eventually decided to go with Amazon Prime Video, which at least I fucking have. And yeah, just we got it. we got the show. Yeah, like I was excited for the show until released, and I realized that this was just kind of okay. Not okay. It was good, but I wasn't what I expected. And I want to get into that. So let's dive into Batman Cape Crusader, the first season of Batman Cape Crusader season 1. What? The first season of Batman Cape Crusader. Fucking hell. So first up, talking about the animation, like we always start off with. The animation in this show reminds me a lot of the Batman animated series from the 90s, and that makes sense. It's Bruce Timm doing it again, so it makes sense that it looks similar in art style. Of course, decided to go with a bit of a modern take, not a modern take, but definitely using some of the more modern designs for the characters. I keep saying character weird. Is that just me? Character. But anyways, decided to use a lot of those more recent designs for the characters. And character. For the characters. That sounds weird. Character. Okay. Um, me just having an existential crisis over the fact that I say character weird. But anyways, so they use a lot of those. They use a lot more modern times. Like for example, Commissioner Gordon is most likely based on some more recent appearances, especially I would guess like fucking fucking what Jeffrey Wright's version of the character, not especially since again Matt Reeves is here. With this as well, there's a lot of Batman influences there. What I was gonna get at back then is like, yeah, there's a lot of the Batman influences in this show, but they also could get away with not being completely realistic. It was animated, so there's a bunch of stuff um in the show that's like supernatural Batman villains that we haven't seen in a long ass time. So I really do enjoy that aspect of the show. But that's besides the point right now. But I guess I'll get into that. But aside from that, the like they look like the Batman animated series version of the characters if they were like in the 1940s. And I know that the animated series had some 1940s aspects to it. It wasn't exactly it wasn't completely like that. They were like the blimps and all that stuff and like the the lights that they had that in that show, but I wasn't like completely uh it wasn't like completely like that. So yeah, I get like, it wasn't completely like 40s, and this is very very 40s. Like the Batmobile's the 40s, like everything's 40s in this show, and I do appreciate that. I would love to see much more of that Batman, of like a Batman being in that era. That's something interesting. But 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 nothing. They used that very well. It's just that there's nothing. There's nothing wrong with the animation. I don't know. It's just like the show doesn't. I don't think the show really utilizes it to its fullest potential. And it's kind of like, oh, here's 40s. Like like it's just for me, it's just like, oh, it's just the Batman animated series. Like that's just what I feel watching the show. Like, oh, remember nostalgia for the Batman animated series. That's all I feel. And I never watched it, so yeah, yeah. So I don't really. I guess it's there for those people, but it doesn't look like it. Something I can appreciate is that since it's a lot more modern, using sort of like the show is made with a lot more modern tools. It can get away with, it can do a lot more stuff that the animated series probably couldn't. Like for example, Gentleman Ghost looks great in this show. Uh, like everything just looks clean, like cleaner, nicer. Like during the daytime, there's a very stark difference to when there's nighttime and daytime in this show. It's I think great. I think it's really great. So yeah, I mean, uh, I don't know. I feel like they use the animation quite well. I think the animation looks, good in this show. It's not one of its bad points. Definitely not. There's a lot worse things in this show, to be frank. But yeah, I just I don't know. The animation's fine. The animation's good. That's all I gotta say. It's something spectacular. It won't blow your mind, but if you enjoy the animated series, you will definitely enjoy this animation that the Batman Cape Crusader has, and also like maybe you'll appreciate like the new stuff they managed to pull off in here. So yeah, Anyways, let's talk about the characters now. Uh, First up is Batman. So Batman is interesting. Okay, so I guess I'll have to drive some things like not drive, like compare some things with the Batman movie, since obviously Matt Reeves is on it, but doesn't really mean that they that they're connected. But here in like a way of like the story and style, it kind of is, since this Batman is sort of living in like a grim, like both Batmans live in a grim version of Gotham with crime rampant all over, and they're both very early version of the Batman. Like in here, people don't even think the Batman is real. So this is a very early version of the character. Both are very early version of the character. But I feel like there are things that this Batman does. I don't not better, but well in that aspect that I do really appreciate. But there are also things that this Batman does within that aspect that are worse than the Batman. And again, I'm just comparing it because Matt Reeves is here. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm comparing it for. And the fact that they're such similar, they're just such similar premises and styles and all that. Like, just like in general. So basically, Matt Reeves tried to do it twice, but with a different like setting. So and also he wasn't really and obviously they weren't really hampered by the fact that the Batman universe is a lot more grounded. So what actually happened? Like what does this Batman not work for me? And it's very important for Batman to work with me. Well, I feel like this Batman is kind of a dick to everybody, and it's not like for example, like in the Gentleman Ghost episode, like a lot of the series, Batman's really like I don't feel like Batman cares that much about Alfred, and like Batman, in at least in the Batman, like Bruce Wayne like does care, and like he does care about people. He's obviously a lot involved. Like he sort of like drowned himself in being the Batman, which was another thing. Um, what do you call it? Fucking hell. But like just in here, I don't know. I don't feel like cares that much about people. But there are things I do think that that this version of the Batman does. Like for example, sometimes he was going to use a gun on people, but then he didn't like how he felt, and then he threw it away. Like sure, it's Batman trying to find out what he wants to do. That's fine. But I feel like if you hear, I don't think Batman has that much of a personality either. These are both like I was getting at. These are both these are both versions of Bruce Wayne that are absorbed in being the Batman in his early years. But at least the broad past of Batman had a personality to go with it. I feel like here, it's like trying to be the Batman, but instead of actually being that actually like being that version of the character, being very like brooding and all that. I feel like he's just Bruce Wayne from the animated series, but like a little like trying too hard to be the Batman. version of the character, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. It's just that's something I like. We also don't see that much of Batman in the series at all. I feel like there's not a lot of Batman in this show, and it desperately needed more. And we definitely needed more Bruce Wayne too. I don't think I don't think uh, that we needed less of this. There were a lot of characters in the show, and I will get to a lot of them. But yeah, I feel like it kind of wasted like Batman, which is weird to say because there are a lot of other characters that I feel like got much like a lot more spotlight. Next up is Alfred, which I don't have much to say, honestly. I don't remember much about him. I do remember him being neglected by Bruce Wayne and obviously trying to make Bruce Wayne see reason. But aside from that, he doesn't really do much in this show, aside from getting possessed by Gentleman Ghost. That's really the only thing I remember him doing and, being ignored by Batman. Which is something that I don't mind happening. But in here, I don't know, I just feel like he didn't care about Alfred. So yeah. I don't know. I don't. I don't feel like this is the best. Like just like it's like the best thing to. I don't know. I don't think this is like the best way to handle Alfred here. But yeah. Next up is Barbara Gordon, which I would consider the actual like main character of the show, really. Which I don't mind. I don't mind having people react to Batman. Uh, but I feel like Barbara Gordon at least I think does is a very interesting way of to take the character. Mainly because they're going in a way where she is, I think, maybe getting set up to become Batgirl at some point. She's definitely working a lot with Batman and definitely giving Batman a lot of the benefit, a lot of the benefit of the doubt, which I do like. I do like that's what they're doing. That's what we're going with Barbara Gordon. It's a very interesting way to take a character, and I like it. I mean, I like it, and it's just I feel like it just kind of makes sense to have Barbara Gordon here and have her uh, it's have her be part of the story. I feel like it's a very I feel like it was a smart decision to have her here and have her be sort of like this person that sways the people within like the GCPD to maybe work with Batman, and it does happen. They eventually go work with Batman. So yeah, I do. I do. I do enjoy this version of the character very much, and I like the I just don't like the relationship she has with like Harvey Dent, which is a big part of the show. And Harvey Dent, there are two villains in the show that I do want to talk about aside from the other, aside from like the villain of the week format that the series kind of didn't focus on. This show went more like a villain of the episode format since it released all at once. So Yeah, talking about Commissioner Gordon. Let's talk about Commissioner Gordon for a little bit. So I feel like Commissioner Gordon had more character here. Of course, it was him, Barbara Gordon, and Batman in the series acting together, and I did enjoy that part of the show, admittedly. And I feel like Commissioner Gordon had a lot more going for him. He started off not really liking the Batman, like I think most versions of the Commissioner Gordon have, and then he went on to become one of his allies after just having so many like encounters with him and having to work with him, especially in that episode of Firebug, where he has to um he has to reluctantly work with him, reluctantly, reluctantly work with him, and I do and I do enjoy that version of the character. That's usually what happens. But I'm glad they didn't decide to skip with this. They obviously they did they didn't skip with that. And they didn't kind of skip that in the Batman. I remember, and they don't really skip. They do skip that, but in here they have a lot more time to do that, and I do like that they do that, and the fact that he is he's one of those one of the only cops in the GCPD that's not really like that corrupt, that's not really corruptible, aside with like Renee Montoya, which they didn't put here in my notes, but I do want to say like I do like that she's here. I forgot about her, but yeah, Renee Montoya is here, and I do like that about her about the care. I do like that she's here, and the fact that she, Barbara Gordon, and Harley Quinzel do sort of have like a friendship, or like even more so like between Montoya and Quinzel. Have a thing going on. But yeah, I think Renee Montoya is a really good addition for the show, and I feel like it does things well. But aside from that, Commissioner Gordon, I do enjoy a lot, and he does have quite a big role in the story, and he does like fight off a lot of the people who who eventually just like do things corruptly. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, next up, actually thought about her, Harley Quinn. So Harley Quinn is interesting in the show because she doesn't have her normal origin of the Joker, being obsessed with the Joker. She is pretty much what she does in this show is that she is essentially like the head of a circus, essentially, and she has a lot of these like rich people in Gotham, uh, just making fool of themselves, and she's making villains out of them, essentially, which I'm pretty sure to do something like that. I don't know. They do things like kind of like that where uh what fucking hell. They do they made him. I think it was like they she made them into like like really weird campy Batman villains from from around this time. And I don't know. I feel like this Harley Quinn, this version of Harley Quinn, is very different from what we saw of her in, for example, uh, like any version of her really. Yeah, but I feel like it works. I don't know if you have. It doesn't really have to. You don't have to separate it from Harley Quinn because she is a psychiatrist here, and she just kind of messes with their mind, and you kind of and you in that episode you do find out that she was trying to do the same to Bruce Wayne, but he was just not having it, or like he kind of knew something was off. And I do enjoy that, and I feel like this version of Harley Quinn is very good, and one of those villains that I do feel like is sort of paid off well. Since I mean, it kind of she was set up quite a bit, and she had these sessions with Bruce Wayne throughout some episodes. I think. But yeah, she like yeah, she was trying to coax Bruce Wayne to do that, and you find out quite a bit later. I feel like I feel like it's a very cool way of having the character and using a lot more of the psychology aspect of her character. That's very cool. I do really enjoy that, and I feel like it's a cool way to see the character, especially kind of separating her from the Joker, which has kind of been happening for quite a bit with Harley Quinn recently. And a lot of people don't know how to feel about that. I don't. If it's separate, I don't really care as long as the version of the character is good and uses aspects of that character. Like for example, here I'm fine with it because you're utilizing something else from the character, the psychiatrist aspect. Plus, she's still Harley Quinn. She's still a jester in the show, so I don't mind really all that much. And well, I mean, you don't have much to base it off of. I mean, it's a different take on the character, and I'm fine with it. But what I'm not fine with, like for example, if you make a complete new character and you just name it Harley Quinn because why the fuck not? Like it doesn't have to do anything with any part of her original character, or that not using any of that stuff. So I don't know, like that's what puts me off. But if you want to do it based on the Joker, you can do that. If you don't, you can do something else like what this show did, and I'm fine with that. Yeah, I like that Harley Quinn had that build up because she was definitely one of those characters that was like promoted a lot in the promotional material. Another one that was promoted a lot was Two Face, Harvey Dent, and this one had a lot of build up in the show, and I feel like they had so much build up that they kind of didn't have enough time to actually let him be Two Face. So they kind of rushed in that. He had like support at all sides and like throughout the episodes. He was kind of a dick, but like people like you knew it was gonna be Two Face and you waited for it, and it was episode what 8? Yeah, 8. And then after that, he kind of just became he kind of became Two Face in a span of an episode, and it was kind of like okay. I don't know. I feel like it was so much built up to make a good Two Face that they just kind of that I feel like they just didn't do it well enough. That's what I think. They didn't do it well enough. It wasn't paid off well. But I do like the build that they have with Two Face. But aside from that, I don't know. I don't know what. He's just like a fine iteration of the character. I feel. Another character I didn't know existed was Rupert Thorne, and this guy is a big part of the show. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Who is Rupert Thorne? He is very reoccurring. But yeah, he's a crime boss, and I've never heard of him until the show, and he's super big, a super big part of the show. Um, yeah, he's like he takes in when like he like fills that void when Batman takes Penguin. Um, he was like he had this grip on everybody in the show. It was such a weird thing to have like this character. But I don't know. I think he's a good addition. They didn't want to do anything. If they didn't want to do like the Falcons or the Maronis, which were gonna be touched upon in the Penguin, so I'm glad that they gave them some space to like not like really wear them off. But yeah, I do like the addition of Rupert Thorne. I feel like it was an interesting one. Some other villains, I don't know. I put there some other villains, but I will definitely talk about it. I think in the plot. So yeah, let's move on and I'll talk about it there. This is a very non-linear plot, but it is very connected. Like I said, everything. Like I said with the characters, everything has connecting parts. A lot of things happen within the episodes that do correlate to other things happening in the show. Even with the villain of the like the villain of the episode format that the series has. It's and it's interesting how they made how they did that, and sure it goes to show that you can do something like that. I mean, obviously you can, but like it shows that you that like what the fuck? There's a mosquito. I think I punted it. Anyways, um. Anyways, like the fact that they could like, do a sort of thing where uh fuck um they made this sort of show where that thing could work and also have a linear plot of two like three very big villains, even if that didn't happen. But that didn't happen with like Harley Quinn. But my real problem is that um I guess my real big problem would be that the villains are like the other villains aren't given enough. I don't think are given enough spotlight. Sure, it's the villain of the episode format, but I feel like sometimes those things don't really have much of a lasting impact on Batman. And I feel like that should be a big part of it. That some of the villains have um what the fuck yeah, just some villains just don't have a lot of screen time, and that's very sad because some of the villains are kind of cool, and like sure they're what's going on. They're tied with Batman. I wish they were tied with Batman's like development as the Batman, but that didn't happen. For example, like the Penguin was there for like an episode and that's it. That's all that the Penguin was in, and she's never mentioned ever again. in the show, she's never mentioned ever again. At least I don't think so. So that's a big problem I kind of have with it. It's just like, yeah, they got a bunch of cool villains, but they don't really matter. And in the long run, and the show has a lot of problems. I think it really, really does. The show has a lot of problems, especially some other things. Like, for example, something I just a bunch of nitpicks with the fact that they kind of wasted all the Robins just to have this one throwaway episode. Like, I feel like they kind of threw away a bunch of possibilities they could have had for the show. That I don't know. I didn't like, but I do like the plot has a bunch of these things and it's very connected, and it's a strong plot. But anyways, that's all I think I'll gonna say about the plot. Really, I don't remember much about it. So it's about the future. So this is titled the first season of Batman Cape Crusader. Because this episode is about the first season because we know there's a second season coming. It was renewed about a year before the season came out. Fun fact. And some things I want to mention that I did say earlier that I think Barbara could become Batgirl in the future. They want to go in that direction, especially since she is she's allies with Batman, so I can see that going on. Like I said earlier, I don't think they can do Robin. They kind of wasted all those characters away. They could use a bunch of other villains from Batman lore. They did use a lot of obscure ones like Nocturna and Firebug. Like, why didn't they just go with Firefly? I have no idea. It's probably because Firebug fucking dies. So they didn't want to waste Firefly so quickly. And in like the last I think the post-credit scene of the show, they do show that they are gonna introduce the Joker at some point. So it's probably gonna be season 2. Now officially showing off the Joker. So yeah, I think Batman Cape Crusader is it's a good show, but with an interesting plotline. But I feel like the characters do kind of hamper it, and I feel like the plot just kind of also is hampered by the fact that it has that villain of the episode format, and sometimes some episodes don't really matter, and it's not really it doesn't really grow the Batman character. And honestly, it's very basic and it's nothing special. The writing isn't anything special in the show. It's just kind of like a pretty standard Batman show, what you would get, but it does things differently, which I do like. So, yeah. That's all I would say about the Batman. I give it a solid, at least the first season of Batman Cape Crusader, I give it a solid B tier. It's good. That's all I gotta say. It's a good season. If you want a Batman show that's good, like a recent Batman show that's good, and you like animation, go watch Batman Cape Crusader if you haven't already. I feel like it's very good. But yeah, that's about it. All our socials are. Oh yeah. What do you guys think about Batman Cape Crusader? Leave in the comments below. All our socials are in the description. And that's about it. See ya.